Boker Tov, everyone. We're continuing Megilat Ruth, Perek Aleph, Pasuk Yutet. So we left off is that Naomi saw that Ruth really wanted to come and convert, and she, at the end, let her come with her back to Eretz Yisrael. So Pasuk says, "V'telachna shtehem." They both went ad bo'ana Bet Lechem until they reached Bet Lechem. V'hi keboana Bet Lechem. When they arrived to Bet Lechem, v'tehom kol ha'ir alehen. The entire city was excited over them. Vatomarna, they said, Hazot Naomi? Is this Naomi? So Rashi explains over here that the entire city was actually gathered together. Like when they walked into the city, the entire city was there. Why? Because it was actually the funeral of the wife of Boaz. We weren't introduced yet to Boaz, but Boaz is eventually going to be the one that's going to marry Ruth, etc. So Boaz's wife passed away. They're all there right at the outskirts or right at the beginning of the city. They all see them and they all question, is this Naomi? So what's the question here? Because she left a very wealthy lady and now she's coming back as a poor lady. As Rashi says, she used to leave with covered wagons like a sign of royalty, and she used to have mules, not just donkeys, but I guess mules, or it seems like they're better than horses. Yeah, I don't know. Mules are, maybe it is a donkey, but better than horses. It seems like a higher level, transportation. She had a BMW, now she's coming back with a Toyota, right? So they're wondering, like, is this Naomi? So we'll explain a little bit more on this. But the next pasuk, Vatomer alehen, she tells them, Al tikrena li Naomi. Don't call me Naomi anymore. Naomi, Noam comes from the word sweet. Don't call me Naomi anymore. Kerena li Mara. Call me the bitter one. Ki hemar shaddai li meod. Because Hashem brought bitterness on me very, very much. Brought bitterness on me very much. The next pasuk. Ani meleah halachti. I left full. I left Israel full. Vereka meshivani Hashem. Empty, Hashem brought me back. Lama tikrena li Naomi. Why are you calling me Naomi? V'Hashem anabi, and Hashem responded to me. And the Farshim said this is a lashon of midat ad-din. V'Shaddai hirali, and Hashem brought back to me. My name is not Naomi anymore. It is Mara. Call me Mara. I mean, her name, physical name was Naomi, but call me Mara. Let's do one last pasuk. We'll explain a little bit more outside. Vatashov Naomi, Ruth Moaviyah, Kalata Ima. And Naomi and Ruth Moaviyah, her daughter-in-law, came back with her. Hashava misdeh Moab, where they returned from Sdeh Moab. Vehema ba'u Bet Lechem b'tchilat ketzir seorim. And they came to Bet Lechem at the beginning of the cutting of the barley, as Rashi explains, for Ketzirat HaOmer. It was around Pesach Shavuot time. This time, that's when they came back to Eretz Yisrael. The Malbim over here explains that when they saw her, they said, is that Naomi? Now, what are they saying? They're saying she left rich and she came back poor, but they still call her Naomi. What does she answer? Don't call me Naomi, call me Mara. And I came full, and I left, and I came back here empty. Malbim explains that when a person, let's say, loses money, right? So let's say a guy's worth $1 million, and now he has 100,000. So if a person says, "Oh wow, now he's poor," that you could only say that if you knew he was worth $1 million. And now he went down to 100,000. So you said, wow, the guy, went down. But if you only see that the guy has 100,000, you didn't know his past, so okay, the guy's worth 100,000. Maybe it's not poor. Maybe yesterday he was worth only 10,000. Now he went up. But if you see a guy's worth 0, then no matter what he was worth before, and you know 100% he's poor because he's worth 0. So they said, wow, is this Naomi? Meaning they still called her Naomi. Meaning they saw she went down, but they thought, says the Malbim, she still had maybe jewelry in her bag. She still was a little bit rich. Right? Is this Naomi? She went down from here to there, but that she's still okay. She says, no, I'm Mara. I have nothing, and I'm that poor person that has nothing. Unbelievable. Rashi also says, when the pasuk says, Mele'ah halachti, I left full, it's talking about herself, and Rashi says she also left pregnant and she lost the baby because she left with her husband and 2 sons, and says Mele'ah halachti, I left full as well. But she says she also lost the baby inside as well. The Gaon of Vilna explains two things here. He says when she says Hashem Anabi and came back to me with Midat Adin, Anabi answered me. The Gaon of Vilna says the way that Hashem works often is midah keneged midah. What you do, you get back. Remember, they left Israel not to feed the poor. They were wealthy. There was a time of famine. Like, we're not going to feed the poor. Let's go out of here. Let's go to Moab. Unfortunately, they got back what they deserved. And what he says is, therefore, a person has to be very careful to pay attention to the aniyim, to those that need. And the worst is if you've offended a poor person and a poor person cries to HaKadosh Baruch Hu and that cries because of you, you don't want to be that person. So he goes on about this, and you see that from here. He calls this an onesh gadol, a very unfortunate, very big punishment if a poor person cries because of you, Chas Shalom. And he explains one last point, and he says that, well, he does say that a person has to remember that, and this was also a cause of the issue here, the last point, Naomi had everything. She had a husband, kids, and wealth to such an extent. And they were like on top of the world. He says that what also caused them was because they were so perfect, so to speak. And when a person is like perfect, it could get to a point of Vayishman Yishurun Vayivat. The person thinks, oh, I'm fat, I have everything, and they can kick HaKadosh Baruch Hu. That's what happened. And therefore he says, Adarabba, says the Gaon of Vilna, Tov lo le'adam she'yeh lo k'tzat yisurim ba'olam hazeh. It's good that a person has a little bit of hardships in this world, so that it'll always yikruvu to la'avodato. He'll always be connected to Hashem. Hashem, I'm going through a hardship. I need your help. Please, please, please. Because if everything's perfect, mamash, it can lead to a person, I don't need God. Everything's perfect for me, which happened in this situation. He says also always good, and that's what he quotes a pasuk in Tehillim. Tzarot levarvi yirchivu. The tzarot that were on my heart, that opened up my connection with you, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. So we don't want to wish upon ourselves Yisurim, but a little bit of Yisurim is, he says, very good, so that a person can always be close to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruch Adonai Le'olam. And that ends the first Perek, but we'll continue the next Perek tomorrow. Baruch Adonai Le'olam. Amen ve'amen. Rabbi Chananya ben Akasham Ratzak HaKadosh Baruch Hu lezakot. Et Yisrael Shneim Adam Torah Shneim Adam Hafetz Man Tzidko. Yagdil Torah ve'yadir.